Alright guys, I'm gonna have to delete that last video in a bit. Unfortunately that one went public. Maybe some of these we should have private or whatever, but sorry about the noise in the background. It's 100 degrees. It was 105 degrees today. It's nighttime and it's still hot. What up though? What up though? Hold on. I got the Verselab on my lap. What up though? We here, man. We got the Verselab, man. It went down after a long awaited period of trying to get our funds together. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Zounds. We did the play for pay, and things are looking pretty good, man. It's been 2 days. I made a few beats. The beats are like whatever, you know. I'm getting accustomed to the unit, but I this thing's incredible, man. I was expecting it to be bad because I got the SP404, and you know the SP404. I listened to some beats on it today that I made, and I'm like, you know what? Some of these beats are kind of tight. You know what I mean? Like, so the SP404 like definitely has like the ability to make good beats. You know what I'm saying? If you like anything else, if you work at it, you know what I'm saying, it'll be good. Same thing with this. If you work at it, you know, it'll be good. But this one caught me off guard. This surprised me. The buttons are incredible. They feel good. They're soft to the touch. The mic doesn't sound too bad. I'm talking on it right now. You know, the noise in the background, you might be hearing it. Maybe some of the electricity mixed in with the maybe like barely any, but mixed in with the air conditioner and the fan, because like I said, it's hot in here, so sorry about that. But man, I made some beats. I just did a sampled beat. I read some of the manual. I looked at a bunch of tutorials, and in 2 days, man, I kind of got a little bit of a gist on this product in like a day, basically, because I got it like, well, I came home. I got it the day before yesterday. I came home and I messed with it, but not for too long. So like the first day I maybe got 4 hours in, but then today I basically was on it all day. You know what I'm saying? We fixed our audio problem. You should be able to hear that. Let's go to the Alright, cool. This might come off as super quiet because how much? Oh, we don't have it. We don't. Okay, there we go. That's better. Turn it up a little bit. Oh, turn up the gain on the mic too. There we go. So yeah, I could definitely hear the fan. I'm gonna turn off the air and the fan real quick. Alright, I'm gonna turn off the air and the fan real quick because I just want to try to do a quick review. You know how I do sometimes, man. I gotta work on I'm not talking as much, but see what we got here. Turn off the air and the fan real quick because I just want to try to do a quick review. You know how I do sometimes, man. I gotta work on I'm not talking as much, but check. Alright, yeah, we're picking up feedback, so that should be good enough. We're picking up feedback, so that should be straight enough, and it sounds pretty good as I'm talking, as I turn up the gain. You know what I'm saying? It's got the effects on it. You know that you can do. Oh, in the night, in the night, I hear the song that told the story ever told. Somewhere far along this road, he lost his soul to a woman so heartless. So you know, it's got the effects. It's got effects, and we haven't even dabbled with the vocal effects too much. We haven't recorded any vocals. Um, I'm kind of dumbfounded, man. I'm kind of dumbfounded because I mean, I went into this thinking that it was gonna be a return. You know what I'm saying? Like as odd as that sound, like you know, just to give you an explanation, like my son like was dealing with a terminal illness, and like I showed him this, and I was like, I was using Zen beats at the hospital, um, um, on the iPad because he was you know he was rapping and stuff. You know he had gotten into rap and stuff, and so like you know like I was like, oh man, you know I remember like you know I bought a machine. I put money on it. His mom put the other half. You know, got him some stuff. You know, so you know we had this kind of relationship, and I've been trying to find a good beat machine. You know, I tried the Akai Studio, the OG one, the Studio Black. It froze up on me. The machine micro was pretty good for a while, the first one, um, but eventually it kind of just you know I just kind of just I used it a lot. I made about 100 beats on it, but I didn't really like push it like I should have on that thing, and my computer started to slow down and bog down and stuff like that. And so you know, I always wanted to like have like a sampler. Like I remember back in the day, at this cat that I back in the day I was like 19, and computers had already taken over by this time. But this cat that worked at the oh, what was the name of that place? I worked at the Journeys. He worked across on the second floor. I forget his name, but he was a nice kid, man. He was a good guy. Um, and he rapped, and he had an old school kind of flow. You know what I'm saying? And I rapped, and we talked. He was a Spanish dude. What was the name of the shoe company? Not Wallabies. That's what they call them in New York. But they got that like kind of thick sole. I haven't seen them in a while. Oh man, what are they called? Oh, what are those shoes called, man? They start with a CH, I think. They were everywhere. It's kind of crazy now that I think about it that they're not around anymore. Anyway, he had worked at that shoe store. You know, they were upscale too. They were kind of upscale. You know, those shoes were big in New York. People were wearing them and stuff. And we go to his homie's house, and his homie had an MPC, and I think he had a BR 1600 or a Tascam. He had some kind of multi-track device, and I was like, "You don't use a computer?" And he was like, "Nah, this is how I was taught." And I'll never forget the dude. Like his name was Ian. You know what I'm saying? He had like a little bump on his eye or whatever. And I was like, "You want me to?" I was kind of fucked up. I was like, "You want me to call you I or whatever?" I just thought it was cool because you know Ian. But he was like, "Yeah, you can call me that." But his beats were, to this day, like his beats stand out. Like the level, everything was sampled. It was all boom bap. At the time, that was all we were doing. There was no trap at the time, so his beats were like, they just blew me away, man. They blew me away. You know what I'm saying? And I always wanted a sampler. My homie had an MPC 2000 XL, and I knew people that had 2500, so I always wanted a sampler. But like I said, I bought an MPC for the computer. Didn't work out for me. Software had some problems and things like that. So everybody, you know, other people I seen make beats with it. So I was like, man, what's going on? And so I stopped using Machine. I stopped using, you know, this is over the course of a long period of time, unfortunately. But I stopped using Machine. I stopped using the MPC Studio Black, and eventually I saved up like $389, and I bought a used SP404A, and that held me over, and I was actually real happy with that for a while. And then as I was discovering some of the limitations that I was unaware of, I should have done my research better, but there was a lot of limitations I was unaware of, and I didn't mind resampling and doing everything one track at a time or two tracks at a time, but it does get tedious after a while. You know what I'm saying? And the sequencer is not good. So, they dropped the Verselab, and instantly when I see it, I was just, I mean, look at the dimensions of this thing, man. Now we got it working for OBS, so we can bring it to you live, just off of this. We don't have to be in FL Studio. We're just off of this. You know what I'm saying? This is the interface. This is the audio interface. This is everything. You know what I mean? The beat's already in here. You feel me? And it just, when you put it in your lap, it's the only sampler workstation controller that has been in my lap and feels nice and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And if you look at, I mean, one thing that caught is just the design. Look at the design on it. I mean, it just looks perfect. It matches my headphones. See my headphones? It matches my headphones perfectly. So it just feels like it's a perfect fit. The lights are so bright. It's like I'm about to grow some LED fucking medical cannabis in this motherfucker with these LEDs like this. You know what I'm saying? Look at that. 30 buttons, smooth as a button. The pads feel good. The lower pads feel really good. They're not super stiff and they're not super soft. They're nice. I like them. They are a little hard if I'm gonna be critiquey and stuff. But based off of the critiques that I saw from people, man, I was expecting this unit to be straight dog doo-doo, man. I really was. And you're probably thinking, well, why would you buy it? Because I had the SP404, and I figured even if it was bad, as long as it had a sequencer that wasn't as bad as the SP404 sequencer, which I consider to be pretty bad. Shout out to Old Boy for the tip on his YouTube page to hold the buttons longer in order to get to the end of the bar for the SP404. That seemed to help a little bit, but I was still having some problems, even though he had threw that tip out there. You know what I'm saying? My homie DiBiase, I think judged one of his battles or whatever that he was in. That kid's nice. Check out his page, Old Boy. I think he got an MPC eventually, but on the SP, he's no slouch using padding sequencer. Me, I had to use the resample method, because that was the only thing that really worked for me, because I just couldn't get down with the sequencer. I tried. But it was all I had, and I liked the buttons, and I liked the hardware flow. The pitch wasn't good, but the pitch was trash, but I would still use it anyway. I would use a subsonic bass. That's probably one of my favorite patches on there. The sound quality of that little machine is ridiculous, you know what I'm saying? And when you use the MIDI in feature, using it from a sequencer or from a DAW, sequencing the SP404, that adds an element to it that almost makes it like an MPC, especially if you get your chops in the right way. So it's definitely a unit that's proven itself, and people have proven how devastatingly good that unit is, even with the limitations that it's had. I wasn't able to do the things that people were able to do, and then some people have the old 303, so they were either taking their 303 and sampling into the SP, or they were taking their DAW beats and sampling it into the SP, or they were drum programming and sampling into the SP. Look, it is what it is. It's fine. It's not cheating. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no rules to this. You know what I'm saying? The only rule is, can you make your beat sound good? Can you make your production sound professional? Can you grow your empire? You know what I mean? Grow your musical catalog and have people take note of your status in the game, or your status as a musician. You know what I'm saying? So Uh, that's why I kind of bought this as a companion to the SP, just in case, you know. And even though my SP's old, if that breaks, I'll probably buy another SP. The Mach 2 is dope. It's actually something I would need. Ironically, and I said this in a video that I deleted, some of the stuff, you know, if you've seen this before, go ahead and, you know, leave or whatever. And if you're going to leave negative comments, this is not what this channel is about. Go somewhere else with that. This is about productivity, motivational coaching, and justice. That's what this whole channel is about, and just keeping things positive. And the world's already crazy enough. There's already negative people trying to manipulate you and take all your attention. Go over there and give them the attention. If you're not enough of a person yourself to like understand how life should be for you, you need to follow somebody. Go do that over there. Go bring that stuff over there. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to convert me, and you don't have to insult me. We can agree to disagree. We can keep our distance from each other. We don't have to be, you know, at each other's throats. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, you know? But, you know, with this unit, I'm beyond like pleasantly surprised. You know, this is my first workstation. Like I said, I have to say, like, it's not my first sampler because the SP404 is my first sampler, but this thing, man, you know, from what I've been able to do, you know, input button to choose your input for sampling, shift, sequence, you can go out that way and go into your metronome that way. You can create templates so that way you don't have to do some of this stuff. Some of the stuff saves, some of it doesn't. So maybe creating your own template would be a better idea. But some of the settings that I put in, they weren't saving, and then later on some of them were saving. Like, okay, I guess some of it does save automatically. You know, like some of the sampling settings that I put in had stayed. But the edit button, the clear button, I use the clear all the time because I make mistakes, so I clear it. You hit clear in the sequence, it just deletes whatever you did, and you're back into it. You know what I'm saying? 30 buttons, soft as hell. The clicking sounds great. The bottom buttons are soft. You can program your beats in manually. You can play something wrong, erase it in the row deck, in the bottom row where you have the step sequencer. So you can play something wrong and then erase it in the step sequencer. This thing is highly, highly, highly underrated. It's extremely underrated. I'm not going to say it's an MPC. I'm not going to say it's an SP404. I'm not going to say it's an MC707. It's none of those things. It's the Roland Verselab mv-1. And I think the research and development team, the people at Roland, deserve credit for the build quality, even though it is plastic. I like the powder coated feel that they gave. I like the ergonomics. The design was the first thing that pulled me towards it. It looks like a remote control for your beats, and that's exactly what it is. And it records 16 vocal takes, so it's your full production studio right here. And I finally figured out how to track out everything into OBS and into my FL Studio. So now, even though I don't have a lot of sounds in FL Studio, it doesn't matter because now I got this. And then my wave sounds, I've taken some of those, put them on the SD card. We did so much in a short period of time, in the course of 24 to, I want to say, maybe 30 hours, maybe, if that. More like 28 in 28 hours. Off and on, we slept and stuff like that. But in just a day and a quarter, if that, we've figured out how to sample, how to quantize, how to sequence, how to put beats together. The only thing we really haven't done is the section and song mode. Mixer, mix down, and motion. Those are the things we haven't done just yet. But everything, if you have the Akai Fire, it's a lot like the Akai Fire where everything is done with this knob, this value knob where you're turning. The screen is not that bad. What people miss about the screen is the responsiveness of the screen. The screen is just a reference point, so you know where you're at. You know what's going on. You got an exit button. I mean, this is a beat maker's, producer's haven right here. You know what I'm saying? You got to trust me, man. You got to trust me, man. This is not a machine that you pick up in one day and you automatically say this thing is garbage. Nah, man, this thing you got to put in a week's time, and if you really put in the time and work on this thing, it's undeniable how good it is. It's undeniable how incredible it is. I'm you know I've bought so many things that have let me down: e-bikes, e-scooters, computers, iPads. Uh, I mean, so many things. Buyer's remorse. I've had buyer's freaking regrets. You know what I'm saying? Like for years, man. And I can honestly say, ironically, I went into it expecting it to be trash, and because of how much hate it was getting on YouTube, and it's 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 quite the opposite by a huge margin. It's incredible. I'll put it up against the MP. If you're an MPC-1 user, this is something that's right up your alley. It's all right here. You don't need a big old screen. You don't need any of that stuff. It's all right here. You know what I'm saying? Right in the palm of your hands. Everything is right here. And it's all sonically. It's all sonic, and then you got your reference point. You know what I'm saying? If someone could take a multi-track recorder and make a song on it without having that much of a screen, if any screen at all, with no waveform, some of them do have waveforms now, one at a time, or some got multi-track waveforms, which is good. You got iPads and everything now, but if you could do all that, you could only imagine what you could do with this. And I just don't think the screen is something that you just write this thing off on. You automatically write this thing off. I bought this. This is something that I bought. I bought this unit, and I'm telling you, it's incredible. It's incredible. Roland, keep doing updates. Keep doing what you're doing. You guys know how to make great products. You guys know how to design products. You know how to make remote controls for beats, and that's freaking cool. And you need to hold your head up high, regardless of. Look, the SP404, they were calling that a piece of garbage back in the day. That thing has become, I knew people on the low that were like, "Yo, man, this thing's dope." Like, after I had seen it at Guitar Center when I used to work there, after I left and went to Activision, there was this dude that was like, "Have you ever seen the SP404?" He's like, "Man, I got one. That thing's a beast, man." You know what I'm saying? There was people making beats on that back then. I didn't, and that was before I even knew that Dilla and Madlib and Doom were using it. You know what I'm saying? Using the 303 and the 404. Now you got the Mach 2, which is, a mini MPC kind of thing. So, the one thing I will say about this unit is I wish the sampling was a little bit better. That might be one reason why people might be turned off by it. It has a slicing feature that I like. The slicing feature doesn't slice to transients the way I would like it to, like slice in a it slices to transients, but it doesn't slice to grid. I don't know if there's a slice to grid mode in this. That would be dope. Haven't heard one. I think Roland also too gives you a different way of doing it compared to the NPCs and other products. Roland has a different way. They've got the Phantom that has the SP inside. They've got the SPs. They've got their drum machines and their cloud and all that stuff. They got the Roland Cloud and all their vintage, synthesizers digitally created now and all these things. But when it comes to their samplers, they give you a different workflow. You get a different workflow with them, and you can still do some tricks. I haven't even messed with the tricks of what you can do, but you can still do some tricks. I read the manual and I realized I was missing that there was a sample pick or sample part or something like that, and then you scroll and you see each part. And I did a little 4-second sample and got 10 parts, and then I spread those 10 parts, put them on a mute group, and made a little something. So I'll probably come up with some tricks. I have the luxury of having the SP404 that I can bring in and have longer sampling time and things I can do maybe in conjunction. I'm having trouble getting the MIDI to read in FL Studio. This is not working as a MIDI controller. That's unfortunate. I'm not using FL Studio that much right now because of my computers, but I just want to keep it real with you. There have been some things, but besides those things, this thing has been, as far as making beats inside this unit, using the screen, staring at the screen, having the mic on, just the whole setup, like it's been great. You know what I'm saying? Like it's been, the beats have been okay. The first beat I made was dope, but I didn't know how to save, so I lost that beat, and I didn't know how to track out on OBS, but I'm tracked out on OBS and I'm tracked out on FL Studio as well. So there's gonna be a lot of stuff coming out. This thing is like a Kai Fire on steroids. It's beyond that, man. You got to give it its props. You know what I'm saying? Like when they came out with the doubler and the harmonizer and the auto pitch correct. Shout out to Akai. I'm not trying to poop on their fan base, but Akai did copy those features, those same exact features that the Verselab had first in their 10 point in their 2.10 software, whatever upgrade that was, where they added the doubler and they added the harmonizer after Mother Ducker. It was after that. It was after all that stuff. Before the recent updates, and I wouldn't mind getting a Kai Key 61 now. I got this, so now if I get the 61, maybe a Nautilus from Korg or something like that, just to have stuff that you could wrap into, that's not just the computer. And I'll have my computer too. I'll have my desktop and the whole nine and all that stuff. I like the ability of having like almost like having instruments, like each studio is an instrument kind of thing. And Roland, man, they made something here that you could just see from the craftsmanship what they put in. Like I said, I mean, I'm sitting here most of the time. I don't feel comfortable sitting like this. This thing feels perfect in my lap, no problem. It feels perfect. The wideness of it, and you can grab it with one hand. It's only this tall, but it's this wide. I mean, the way you sample on these units, it brings for me a different workflow. Yeah, you can capture that. You can capture that boom bap feel. You can capture all that stuff. You can capture that MPC sound. You definitely can. Especially the more you work at it. But sometimes when you just go and just work on it and make the beat, the way that Roland sets up their samplers and stuff, it gets a different, like you get like a different outcome sometimes, because it's a different way, a different workflow of sampling. So I find that to be a challenge, and I find it to be interesting. And now that I have true pitch correction in 2 tracks, I can put that in my SP and rock with that, or I can just keep it right here. You know what I'm saying? I got to get a 32 gig memory card, because I got about 10 gigs of my own sounds. Yeah, I got about 10 gigs or maybe more of my own sound. So I definitely got to get a 32 gig card. And that's going to be interesting, programming beats, from using my own samples. One thing I would say is I would like if the samples played when you're scrolling down. That's one thing that's definitely like, that's kind of a bummer. It does play its own sounds internally when you scroll down, no problem, and gets right into it. You press a pad, you could browse and keep pressing pads, and you don't have to select the sound. When you have your own waves, you have to select the sound in order to hear it, and that's kind of a bummer because it's a longer process. So there are some things, it's not perfect, but this idea that it's like just total and complete garbage is wrong. It's actually far from that. It's extremely dope. You know what I'm saying? You could resample. You know what I mean? Like you can go into input, I believe. So you go record source, right? And then you have PC, which I've been using to sample from PC. You've got kick, snare, hi-hat. So you got the different tracks: kit, bass, vocal. So you could resample. You could resample your vocal. You know what I'm saying? If you're a guitar player, you can use the vocal tracks to add additional instruments if 7's not enough for you. I would like to see more looper tracks. 4 would have been nice. Maybe 5. Shit, maybe 7 or 8. But then again, that's what the MC1, the MC404, or excuse me, the MC707 has. But the sequencing on this, the hands-on ability to make music and delete patterns and delete notes and bring notes back in and make a beat and copy, real quick on the Roland video, the copy feature. Because what I was doing is I was pressing shift, I was pressing edit, let's see, edit, and then measure, and then what comes up is measure length, and then you go, you click on that, and then you go 32, right, for 2 bars, 64 for 4 bars, 128 for 8 bars, right? Guess what? You hit the copy and you hit the measure button twice, you got 4 bars. You hit the measure button 3 times, you got 8 bars, like that. You know what I'm saying? And then in the manual, there's a cheat sheet on the very bottom. Hopefully it was there before. Hopefully it's still there. There's a cheat sheet of how to, let's see, I think it's still there. Hold on, guys. Because now that I'm talking about it, I'm like, wait a minute. I didn't see it when I went on there. But there was a cheat sheet. I was going to be more passionate with this because, but honestly, I'm kind of dazed, man, because I'm tired. I've been working on this thing, and it caught me for a loop because it's incredible. Look, I read some of the manual. I read the sample. Yeah, the screen. Look, the bottom line is the screen is not that bad, guys. Don't let these people, you know what I'm saying? Main specifications. Hold on. Controller value parameter. Okay, yeah. There's a cheat sheet on the bottom. Pad operations. List of shortcut keys. Step operations. List of shortcut keys. Let's see here. So yeah, right at the very end, when you get to page 44 of the manual, and this is something the Fire had as well. It had a little cheat sheet. You got list of shortcut keys, and you got about literally 4 pages. You know what I'm saying? So someone who's like a mad tactician on this thing, you know what I'm saying, on some Dilla stuff, would be all, you know what I'm saying? Like, really, this thing, man, is a sleeper. This is the underground king right here. I'm telling you, man, the Verselab mv-1 is the one to have. If you have an MPC, you need this. If you're just starting music, you need this. Whoever you are, I don't care what you do, you need this unit. This is a must have unit. You could run an external battery pack, okay? Even with the charger, if you're able to get an outlet at a coffee shop, it's a must have. You know what I mean? This is a must have, must buy unit. It really is. I haven't even done the vocal takes yet. I haven't even rapped in this thing yet. That's why I bought it. Just doing the beats alone. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hit too much because I got the mic on. You know what I mean? Like, this other beat I made is just okay. Hold on. I had a better beat, but I lost it. Load. The screen just tells you where you're at. So you're looking, and it's not that bad, especially off the if you had an SP404, this screen is an update. You know what I'm saying? If you have the SP404, the original, this screen's actually an update. So it just depends who you're talking to. For you, and when you have the MPC or you see the MPC, then, like, trust me, like, I was somebody that was motivating Akai to be where they're at. I was, I gave some advice and said some things. I always try to be helpful to a fault. You know what I mean? I really do. I really care. You know what I mean? Maybe, and there's things I should care about more that I don't. But I really try to help because it's like I'm the kind of person that feels like music is for the soul. You know what I mean? Like, it helps, it's therapeutic, and it's for all of us, and we could all, most people do music anyway, so it's like, if you could add to the collective, even though you don't have the resources. You know what I'm saying? Why not? So I've given some ideas, wasn't compensated, and those ideas contributed to places I would never thought they would. You know, drop the world on with Lil Wayne and Eminem. That loop that's on there, that's from Riff Machine. Riff Machine, I gave that idea to Fruity Loops. I told them they should come up with an automatic loop generator, and they came out with Riff Machine. I didn't design the product. I just gave them the idea, and it was they took that idea and I said they should do a correction thing. And this is when Autotune was hot, so I can't really take full credit. And they came out with Pitcher and New Tone with a donation of what you think it should be worth or whatever. Pay the $10 or $12 donation, or pay whatever you'd like. And then eventually, I think they made them $100. I got them for $12 at first. So, you know, that's I told my guy Pilar over at Guitar Center before I started working at the one in Westwood, when he was working at the Hollywood one, when I saw the Akai MPK 61, I was like, oh, is that a sampler? And he's like, no, but that would be dope though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had this, and I can't take full credit because I remember seeing the Nico and Sam Ash when I was a kid, seeing the Opens Lab Nico. So and the D beat and stuff like that came later. But these were some of the things that kind of fueled my ideas, and to see like where things are at now is incredible. And I think this unit right here, if you save up your money, whatever, you buy I bought this new so I could register it. I just wanted to make sure my unit was straight. But if you could find one used, buy it. You know what I'm saying? Buy it. It's got that quality to it. It's got enough sampling power. It's got enough ability to it. It's got more reference than the SP404. It's got 60 seconds of sampling time. So yeah, that's not a lot of time. But again, if you have DAW and you have other equipment, that doesn't really matter too much. You know what I'm saying? Again, this thing, for what it is and what it does and for the price, is incredible. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure they were struggling with, what price should we price it at? We've got the MC101, we got the 707, we've got Zen Beats. What should we do? And at first it was $7.99. I wish I would have bought it then. First I think might have been $6.99. Then it became $7.99. You know what I'm saying? Then it went to $8.30. So I wish I would have bought it when it was $6.99. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. I bought it now when it was $8.30. I'm paying it off, and it's gonna be my main unit. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be my main unit. I don't have to plug it into the computer, but I can. I can make beats and play them straight into YouTube. I can have the microphone. I can do live performances straight into YouTube off of this. I mean, the people are not talking about all the things. I said this before. It could be you and another person in the studio, and all you have is this mic and this machine, and it's the two of you at your house or wherever. It doesn't have to be outside, wherever, and you're just going back and forth. You're writing bars and you're creating a song back and forth live. You know what I'm saying? Live, but recorded. Man, this thing, man, I'm really, really shocked that people hated on it the way they did. I'm really shocked that they did. It seems like they didn't really dive into it and what it can do and what its capabilities are. Because the workflow can be tedious at times. That is true. It can be a little tedious, but there's workarounds and there's things that you can do, to get by. But some of it is error. Like, I was like, oh man, sampling's not that good. Then I didn't even know there was a sample part or whatever where you can go from, pick the samples and load them up and finally I got it right. So real quick because I'm not really used to this unit, you know what I'm saying? And I haven't been making beats. It's been like honestly a long time, and I haven't been rapping at all. It's been a real long time, and I always get into this like phase of like not doing stuff, And finally I bought this and was like, you know what, I'm just gonna commit. You know, I've been looking for something to like stay committed, you know what I'm saying? And you know, something that was cheap enough, standalone, you know what I mean, that wouldn't like, you know, that wouldn't break the bank necessarily, but at the same time, like, you know, I have a computer, I have an iPad, so it's like when it comes to the MPC, I kind of was too late, to be honest, on those devices. I didn't have, you know, they're a lot more money. The one is probably the closest thing to this, and so if you want to save the extra $70, um, to have that screen and all that, then do it. You know what I'm saying? It's got an SD card as well. It's got the ability to plug in an interface. I'm not hating on it, but you know, the fact that there's not people like, yo, I gotta get the Verselab, or I wonder how the Verselab is gonna be with the MPC now that you can do that and you got 8 audio tracks, the 16 vocal takes. Now I got, you know, 24 tracks, you know, technically, you know. And I heard the ends are pretty good on the Akai. I heard they added more ends or something like that, so you get a lot more, you know. Hey, that's cool, you know what I'm saying? But like using the SP404, now using this to see that some of the same workflows are in there, like resampling and stuff like that. It's just, this thing's incredible, man. There's just no other way I can really put it to you guys, man. I mean, it's just, you know, the sound quality, the 808s, how you can make trap, the style mode for note repeat, you know, style mode, the chord mode, you could change the chords. You know, you could, with your sections, you can have one part that has all your tracks, and you can add and remove sections to make it more of a cohesive song with a chorus and stuff like that. You could take out a part, right, and have another section with different instruments. You know what I'm saying? Like it's it's really creative. It's really an original type product. There's nothing like it. You know what I'm saying? And the design. And if you know anything about Japan, Roland is a company based out in Japan, I believe. The toy market is huge out there. You know, they like robots. They love toys. They're big on toys, right? They have big toy corporations out there. They love that stuff. You know, Hello Kitty and all that stuff. This thing is a toy, but in a good way. It's a cool toy. It's a designed toy that's a brand new race car or an Autobot or something like that. I mean, it's on that caliber. You know, it's a collectible. It's a collectible. You know, samplers are now entering this collectible phase because of the samplers of old. The, you know, the EMU 1200. You know what I'm saying? The EMU SP 1200. Which is, you know, considered the first sampler to really start off the boom bap thing. You know what I mean? You know, old Roland samplers. You know what I'm saying? Roland created MIDI. You know what I mean? Like, so, you know, the original SPs, when they were Boss. You know what I mean? I had the 101 that was just a beat. It was just a drum pad. That's all it was. You know what I mean? This dude I knew came through and gave it to me. You know what I mean? But it was just a either 4-pad or 8-pad drum thing. It was the SP 101. I was like, what the heck is this? You know. Yeah, like that was, you know what I'm saying? Like this goes way back, and Roland's been around for a while, and I like that they went out there and took a chance, and the fact that people like said all this stuff about it. I was expecting this to be like, honestly, I was expecting to like shed tears about how bad it is, but I want to shed tears about how good it is, how great it is. You know what I'm saying? It really is a great job. And so, you know, just understand, Roland and people out there who might watch this video, if you're considering this, for me, this unit is incredible. I'm still working with it. You know what I'm saying? There was some things I was critical on about the sounds. Some of the sounds I thought might have been a little bit, you know, cookie cutter, kind of candy-ish, not serious. Some of the sounds I was hearing people when they would play the instrument, I didn't really like some of the sounds and stuff. But now that I got it here and I'm listening to the 808s, how fat they are, listening to the effects, I plugged it into my SP and it fattened up the beats even more, and I did that for just a little bit, just for 2 hours, because I want to really focus on this unit. I don't really want to dabble too much and messing with both of them, because I want to see what this thing could do by itself. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. There's really not a lot. I can actually go on and on and on and on. You know what I'm saying about this? There's really not more I can say as far as like without repeating myself, because I'm just gonna keep saying how great it is, because it really is great. I mean, it really is great, man. You know what I'm saying? The looper track, pitching, sampling, assigning the samples to pads, creating a drum, creating a drum sample, pitching the drums down, you know, uh, you know, the shift button to get to the different features. Um, your metronome, your counting, you know, it's just, I don't know, man. It's just it's incredible, man. There was a lot of people saying, "Oh, it doesn't have a count in for vocals," and I don't know. A lot of people saying a lot of things, but you go out there and you find out, well, wait, it does have that. You know what I'm saying? So, and then there was a guy who put out secret undo buttons. So a lot of these things you find out that they do have. But the bottom line is, it's a workstation that's capable of making good music. That's why you should get it if you decide to get it, because it's capable. You know what I'm saying? If you want to get an MPC, buy an MPC. If you want to get the MPC keys, buy the MPC keys. If you want to buy a motif, buy a motif. Or if you want to buy they're not even the motifs anymore, the Modi X. You want to buy a Modi X, buy a Modi X. You want to buy whatchamacallit, Nautilus from Korg, buy that. You want to buy a Verselab, buy a Verselab. You won't be disappointed. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't. I was expecting to be extremely disappointed, and I wasn't. It was, the sound quality. You know what I'm saying? I wish it was a little louder. You know what I'm saying? I wish it was a little louder. If you got a mixer, that would probably help you. You got a DAW, or you got an SP404 where you could plug it into that and kind of turn up the sound a little bit. That would help. If it was just a little bit louder. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing I wish about this. I had some like wish list stuff already that I wish it was in it. But yeah, just the resampling ability that you get with this, I haven't even there's a lot of things I just haven't even done yet. And for what I did in the 24 hours that I had it, it's like, I mean, look at the colors on this thing. It goes into sleep mode. It's absolutely beautiful. It changes color on its own. It just feels like it's built to a certain quality. The feet on the bottom are like, they grip and they feel good. Like, maybe it could have had one more in the middle, one more right there. That would have been nice. But yeah, as far as putting together beats, like, 16 tracks would have been nice. If it had 16 MIDI tracks as well as 16 vocal takes, that would have been a powerhouse of a unit. I feel like Roland kind of skims down the features sometimes. I like to see them give people a budget. Think about people's budget. Give them a lot of features and a good price. You know what I'm saying? In the future. But I'm happy with this unit. I'm happy I bought it. I'm paying it off monthly for $160 a month. So that's a lot more economical for me. I would like to see Roland not back down when people start saying stuff about their unit. I would like to see them promote their products a lot more. Maybe they're having a financial hardship. It's understandable. It doesn't seem like the workstation music instrument creation for producers is a huge industry. I could be wrong, but it just doesn't seem like you're gonna become Jeff Bezos from selling beat machines. That doesn't seem like a plausible thing. So I get that, but you are in that business, and while you are in that business, promoting your business, because you never know where it could go, I think is extremely important. And so you should be having YouTube videos, not just once a week. It should be almost daily, every other day, 1 hour, 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? Promoting your products, promoting your your podcast stuff. You know, I'm not even into podcasts. I need to get into them, but I'm not even into those. Promote your podcast stuff. Promote your products. This is a diamond in the rough. This is a fully capable industry standard, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? And it's been out for probably 2 years, and it's gotten a little bit of flack. And I think the people that gave it flack don't really understand this unit and didn't really put the time in to really see what it could do and how it could sample and the resampling functions and the workarounds and stuff like that. If this is the only unit you have, this is a good starting unit to get down with, to do some boom bap, to do some pop, to do some lo-fi, to do whatever. It can do whatever. You know what I'm saying? It can do it all. You know, I would say like anything else, it probably needs a keyboard to plug in via MIDI. I'm having some issues programming MIDI in my DAW, but so far for what it does and what it has, I'm pretty shocked that it's this good. You know what I mean? Like really, I'm gonna keep it real with you. You know, the two headset feature, the build quality of it, the ability to have all the shortcuts and everything right in the palm of your hands, all right here. You know, your reference screen. You know, you click here, you go to preset, you go to pad. You know what I'm saying? Here we'll go load, and then we'll go load, and we'll go new. Go to a new project. All right, so this is a new project. Okay. We'll use the kick track. All right, here we are in the kick track. Here we go. We're back. Here we are in the kick track. Let's see. Make sure we're back. Yo. Uh-oh. 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 We lost it? How we lose it? Oh, no. We're there. We there? Check. Oh, we're there. Yo, okay, we're good. The kick track. Take the kick track. Preset. Pad. Oh, let's try poly key. I haven't even done that one yet. Okay. Shift measure down 1 octave. Shift measure again. Boom. You know what I'm saying? Now that skip back feature would have been great right there. You know what I mean? But that's on the Mach 2 SP404. That skip back is a good. That's whoever thought of that, because that happens to me a lot. Where the first thing I do is fire out of nowhere. Like God came down and was like, "Here you go." You know what I'm saying? You know, I just randomly, and it just kind of just, so that would have been good right there. But you know, it's just, and then you just. Shift up. If we wanted to have a sequence, copy, hit the measure button twice. We got our 4 bars real fast. You know what I'm saying? And then get your, let's see if we can do chords. You know what I'm saying? You know, these are just. Right? Preset again. Could go to leads. Scroll down some. And we'll go to phase lead. Right? Hopefully you can hear this stuff. I don't even know if you can hear this stuff. I guess not. Man, I thought I had that track in there. I don't have everything fully tracked out on OBS just yet. It's coming though. We'll figure it out, but we're getting everything figured out with this unit. You know what I mean? But eventually, everything's gonna be squared away. They break down on the page what track does what and what does what. You know what I mean? So check that out. I would say that getting started video is super important. What happened from the 650,000, almost 700,000 plays that stopped all of a sudden to it going down so much? I don't know. It just seemed like there was this like instant. It doesn't have a big screen like the MPC is the thing you want to copy every single time. The machine got hate. The whatchamacallit. I mean, it's a with all due respect, it's a damn iPad on a beat machine. You know what I mean? It's like it's not that crazy. Like I kind of feel bad that I like kind of push things in this direction because we're missing my part in pushing things in this direction because I don't want to sound egotistical because there's things like this that have an old school feel that you need to touch. You know what I'm saying? You need to touch. You need to feel a workstation feel. Without necessarily having a mouse or necessarily having a touchscreen. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with either. I love my trackball. My trackball, I can't live without that now. You know what I mean? I can't live without my computer making beats on there with a trackball. You add, you put a trackball on one of these, like, well, you don't have to put it in one of these, but I'm saying you have this and you have your computer with your trackball and you're doing this and then you got your trackball. Now you got some real workstation stuff with your computer. For me, the trackball adds the workstation feel, and that's a $30 improvement. So you don't need this. You know what I mean? It's not something you absolutely need, but it's something I think you should definitely have. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. Just like I think you should probably have an MPC, or you should probably have what's the thing that was it the Apollo? What was that preamp that Nas used? Everyone was using it. That white preamp. Damn, I haven't. Is it the Apollo? What is the name of that preamp? It was a real famous preamp. Or like a Manly Slam, but that's $5,000. You know what I mean? Or the microphone or whatever. They're expensive. That's audio gear, custom made, or handmade. That stuff is pricey. You know what I mean? But there's things that you need. The right speakers, the right setup, the right microphone. There's things that you gotta have. You know what I'm saying? And I think this is one of those things. Put an external battery with it, you're on the go. You know what I mean? The sound quality, the bass, the kicks, the snares, the ability to do trap, the ability to do boom bap. What's his name did a video? Loop Hop did a video that I saw where he took a whole track of somebody's that was like a kind of like a singer-songwriter song, and basically took the whole track and was able to have that whole track inside the Verselab. I mean, that kind of showed everything right there, the ability of what you can do right there. And those that need the screen, let's not forget ZenBeats, and let's not forget that you can plug this directly into your iPad and have the ZenBeats app just run the Verselab GUI, where you could see everything, or you could have it inside ZenBeats, the software, and track out. So it's really, if that's what you need so bad, you got the iPad. You got the iPad that you can have that. And that's kind of dope because now you got the two combined, you know what I'm saying? And you got this separate real estate and you have this independent unit, you know what I'm saying? So it's just, a lot of this stuff was like kind of just excuses or like just unnecessary hate, because when you dig deep and you're like, well, wait a minute, it doesn't have a big screen, but wait, you could plug it into the iPad and now you got a really really big screen, as big as the screen as you want, whatever the iPad size, bigger than the MPC. Oh, but the screen's so small. Again, you got the iPad. The sampling ability is not as, it's not as fluid. It has sampling, It has resampling. You can sample into it. You have two looper tracks. You can resample those looper tracks into a sample on its own. So you could just keep building onto that. So like let's say for example, right, you pitch something down, right? But you only have two looper tracks. So then you just resample it into another pad, into another sample that you could pick up later. You know what I'm saying? You could resample a vocal track. So you could have someone play bass on the input line, record it as a vocal track after you track out everything, and then resample it, bring it back in, and then play it in your sequences. So it's just there's a lot of things you can do. It's just a puzzle. That's all it is. And you know, puzzles can be tedious. They can be tricky. They take a while, but they eventually get solved. That's the thing about puzzles. They eventually get solved. They eventually get put together. This is a puzzle that you could put together, and it's not that hard of a puzzle to put together. It's not that crazy. The sounds are good. It has bass. They give you the workflow strip. They motivate you basically. Like here, you have sequence, section, song, mixer, track, master. You know what I'm saying? Like they basically give you everything right here. They label everything. Everything is perfectly labeled. You know what I'm saying? They got what I would like to have seen. One thing I'd like to see. What I'd like to see added is tracks 1 through 16, or excuse me, the step sequencer 1 through 16 to have secondary functions. Maybe they do. I haven't gone through it, but to have some kind of secondary functions and things like that. You know, tracking out your vocals. I don't know how that works. You know, but you know, more sampling time, more recording time. More looper tracks would have been nice. You know, again, some of the things that it has, just more of it. You know what I mean? Would have been great, but you know, we're really going to use this as our main unit and just see how far it can take us and see if it's up to par with being a commercial unit, a unit that can produce commercially. You know, if it can stand next to the MPC and the SP1200 and the SP404 and the Digitac, if it can stand amongst these workstations, if it can stand next to the Modi X or the Montage or the MPC keys or the Korg Nautilus, if it can you know, if it can hang in there, you know, if it can hang in there, then you know we got a contender. And if you like the SP404, the original, you'll love this thing. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. You know, the only thing I'd like to see is some kind of DJ simulator, some kind of scratch turntable, you know, simulator where you could bring in your beats and go into, you know, another beat with the 12-minute wave time on here for vocals. I don't know if that's possible. You know, that would only give me about 4 beats or maybe 5 beats at 2 minutes, somewhere around there. So, you know, you'd have to do your 5 beats and have another machine that you can track into, or not track into, like have another, maybe the SP where you could play another 5 beats and then load up this one. You know what I'm saying? Which is no different from what a DJ does with turntables. You know what I mean? So it's not a big deal, but it would be things that would make this thing stand completely on its own. You know what I'm saying? A DJing function. You know what I mean? Like the SP404 Mach 2. Ability to do performance mode. You know, where you can take your beats and, you know, grid effects and stuff like that. But it has 90 effects in it. I haven't even touched the effects yet. So, you know, I'm extremely happy. You know what I'm saying? I'm very happy with this unit. I'm pleasantly surprised. Roland, hold your head up high. It sucks that it didn't sell that much or people are dogging it. I love it. I think it's great. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure there was people trying to sell this unit and stuff like that. Look, I have it. I bought it. I'm paying it off. I got 6 months to pay it off. I love it. It's been 2 days. I absolutely love this thing. Go get it. With the shortage of electronics, I didn't want to waste any time anymore. I'm like, I can't get an SP. Gotta wait till September. It's already been, 7 months. Had to wait for the Xbox. They're running out of CPUs. They're running out of GPUs. You know, Bitcoin, done sucked up all the GPUs. You know what I mean? So it just doesn't seem like a good idea to really waste time. And with computers, they're great and stuff, but I've had many and they eventually bog down. So we'll see how this works now. Going with an instrument that has no email, has no internet, has nothing. All it has is software, hardware buttons, ins and outs, sequencing, audio tracks, and you know what I mean? And what can you do with 3,000 sounds plus your own sounds that you bring in via SD card, or you bring in a larger SD card, you bring in a 32 gig with your own sounds. I mean, some of you guys have a lot of sounds. Some of you guys already have 10 gigs of sounds, or 15. I know my little bit of sounds I counted or whatever, I got about 10 gigs to 15 gigs of sounds I just bought, randomly. When you start pitching stuff down and you start doing different things, it adds another vibe to it. So I'm very interested in that. I'm very interested in bringing my SP404 into this mix with this pitching stuff down and that being able to sample long periods of time, and being able to have a lot of extreme effects. Plus, this has really good effect. I mean, it's just, I feel like I'm more of a professional now with this unit. I feel like I'm someone to be taken seriously. If you see someone with this unit, you're gonna be like, damn, like this person, you know what I'm saying? Like, two things are gonna pop in your head, for the naysayers. Oh, he should have bought an MPC, right? Because everyone's on that bandwagon. And don't get me wrong, the MPC Akai, like it's historic. You know what I'm saying? It's historic. So is Roland. You know what I mean? But yeah, you should have bought an MPC. And on the positive side, what someone's gonna say is, okay, you know what I mean? This unit looks like it's something. You make beats, okay. Let's hear what you got. This unit looks like it might be something. You're walking around with it. You know what I'm saying? What's popping? Are you doing shows with it? Let's hear some of the stuff you're doing. So, I just think that people saw it had a small screen and they automatically made a judgment without using the buttons that are on here that basically do everything. You know what I'm saying? Sequence. You know what I'm saying? All the sounds are fat, dude. The sounds are fat. It's got some fat leads. I don't think you could hear that. Let's see if I switch the track. There we go. So you can hear. So it's got some stuff, man. Chord mode, you know what I'm saying? Bring that octave down. Okay, so okay, 4 bars, and shift sequence, 80 BPMs, let's say, even though I feel like it was faster than that. Metronome on, and maybe you can create a template to have this stuff, because I keep doing this, so I'm thinking maybe if I create a template to have some of these things already taken care of, but that's okay. good? Okay, that's too slow. Alright, fucked up. Boom. Oop. You didn't get rid of it? Turn the mic off for a second. Copy, measure twice, going to the right to make 4 bars. Here we go. soft bass in there. My bad, we forgot to hit copy an octave twice to make it 4 bars. You know what I mean? So like this helps me a lot because it's like if I forget, like, oh, I didn't put any bass in on this track, it's right there. So it forces you to at least do 7 tracks. You know what I'm saying? Which may not be a lot to a lot of people because there's some masterminds on DAWs. Let me tell you, man, it's different from when I was coming up. There's some straight, these kids nowadays are straight masterminds. You know what I'm saying? They're masterminds, you know what I mean? So, you know, they go up on their DAW and they create like, you know, super sick stuff. You know, and clips, and maybe some, well, can you believe this kind of stuff, and then maybe even bring in another instrument guy. You know what I'm saying? So when you put all that stuff together, this really becomes a powerhouse, because there's nothing like this that's out there. There's nothing like this that's giving you the ability to have a multi-track recorder inside of it. The only thing that's like this is the MPCs that now has a standalone flow with the new stuff that they've been doing. The new the MPC keys has the XLR. And mind you, this has an XLR for phantom power, so it's ready to go, and it's an audio interface. So you just plug in the XLR. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's another thing that this did first, or kind of did first, that other people copied. I'm just keeping it a buck with you. I'm not hating. I'm just keeping it a buck. And I just think that this, you know, like the homie at work said, put some respect on the Roland Verselab's name. Put some respect on its name, because it deserves that. It deserves the respect. It does. It was a trendsetter. Roland seems to be ahead of the curve, but they seem to get all the hate. They seem to get people that just want to, but the NPC or whatever comes out and everyone jumps on the bandwagon. Remember, JD didn't just have an NPC. He had Roland products as well. He also had a Moog. He had a Moog synthesizer. You know what I'm saying? Like, he experimented. He went and found stuff that, you know, he was tired of making stuff on the 3000. So he's like, oh, let me put this with the 3000. And I got my Moog for, I need external synth and some fat leads. Had the Moog popping off. You know what I'm saying? So this, you know, I'm very excited about the MIDI to audio, capabilities with this thing. There we go. A little filter from the auto-tune, but I'm very excited about that. I'm very excited because I'm not an audio guy. Like I'm not a guy that plays instruments like that, where I can just grab an upright bass and start playing. I'm not that kind of person. And then the mic, that's another thing too. We're doing this whole thing on the internal mic. This whole episode right now. Spoiler alert, Underground King edition. You know what I'm saying? The continuation. The saga continues. Wu-Tang. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's a shout out to the gods, you feel me? Not a bite. But yeah, man. You know what I mean? I'm just happy, and I just want to share that with you guys. All the negativity that I bring sometimes, it feels good to have a righteous moment, you know what I'm saying? To bounce back from poverty, to bounce back from an extreme loss, and still deal with those things, but to not give up and to strive to even still, you know, work at this music at the age I'm in, and to still invest in equipment, and to still, you know, take a chance and go against the grain of what other people are doing. Because I see this and I'm like, you know what? The SP sold out. They just sold out the MPC keys, and that's almost 2,000. And then they already go to the music makers or the music stores, people that sell music equipment. They're saying 33% off or 23% off. Original price $2,600. So guess what? Now that the MPC Key 61 has been selling out, even though it's been restocked. Now that it's been selling out, it's gonna get to that point where you're gonna see it like the Verselab. You're gonna see it like the SP404. The SP404 is $600 now. I think it's like $569. That's gonna go up. So everything going on right now, I feel like while everyone's distracted with everything else, and they're like, fuck this unit, I don't want this shit, get this shit out of here, haha, wait for the mv-2, all these jokes I was hearing on the internet, you know what I'm saying, where they're just clowning a a solid unit, a well-crafted, well-designed, great sounding, very capable, extremely good sequencer, sampling functionality unit, clowning it. That was the perfect time to say, you know what, bam, I'm gonna pick it up. Because I got things to do and I don't have time to waste. I'm trying to rap and make beats. And now I got an all-in-one station that does both right here, right in front of me. And I don't need the computer. Now the computer is a side piece. Now the computer is my camera, my streaming computer now. I don't have to worry about stressing it in FL Studio and updates and man, this is not working and I don't have enough plugins and I better go get complete. You know what I mean? I don't have to worry about that now. You know, most of the time I do month to rent stuff anyway, because that just seems like when you're poor or you don't have the resources, take that $20 a month and go get you a little software to get down with and hopefully sell some of your beats. And then once you get some money, buy the program outright so you don't have to keep paying that monthly. You know what I'm saying? Once I pay the monthly off for this thing is mine. Rent to own is good. Ownership is good. But there ain't nothing wrong with renting. I'm renting this apartment. I need a place to stay. Ain't nothing wrong with renting. I'm gonna rent your software. I'm gonna rent Persona Sphere because I'm in a Persona Sphere mood. I'm gonna rent Reason Studios, Reason 12. I'm gonna rent that because I'm in a Reason Studio mood. Companion and all that. I'm in a mood to grab that real quick. I'm gonna rent Serato Studio because I'm in a Serato Studio mood. I need that $10 month software real quick. I'm gonna rent the plugin for $5 a month because I need really good elasticity in my audio. You know what I'm saying? So don't, whatever floats your boat, man. You know what I mean? People love Output Arcade. That stuff sounds incredible. But I have trouble running it, especially on Wi-Fi. So I gotta run it landline only. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta do what you gotta do. And don't let these people on the internet, me included, fool you or control you or manipulate you into you knowing what you need to do to make it, what you need to do to get ahead, what you're trying to do to get ahead. Don't think like the next man. Don't be like the next man. You know what I'm saying? When Bitcoin was 8 cents, nobody was buying it then, but now everybody's on the bandwagon now. So understand. Sometimes it's good to go left when everybody goes right. And while no one saw what you were doing, everyone clowned, or people who did see, they clowned and said, they didn't see this other move you were doing. I might pair this with an MPC or another workstation one day. But for now it's time to get these fucking records out, guys. I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. I'm 39 motherfucking years old. I got like 4 group projects and like 40 songs, and that's nothing for a solo artist of my caliber, and how much freestyling and how much I was battling and how much I was doing all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? And just kind of just gave up multiple times. Got back into it, gave up. Got back into it, gave up. Got back into it, gave up. And really didn't put the songs together. And let me tell you something. Tupac Shakur is someone I look up to this day. Why? Because he wrote 240 songs. People used to call me Drake. I've been around for a long time. That's one of my nicknames. I'm known as MC Draco. Now everybody's holding a Draco. How you think I feel when you know what I'm saying? When I hear all this stuff. But you know what? I can't be mad at the homie Drake. He's doing his thing. He's doing what he's supposed to do. I support that, man. I hope he blows up even more. He's like Michael Jackson status, man. He's on a whole nother galaxy. Good for him. He put in the work. He put in the time. Everybody's having the Draco and the Draco. I got the Draco. Well, it's this. Rest in peace, Draco the Ruler. Now Soulja Boy's Big Draco. I'm hearing all this stuff and I'm thinking to myself, and my son passed away, and I'm thinking to myself, you know what, man? I keep getting all these signs. My little man was gonna rap and do his thing, and now he's not here. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, fuck it, dog. Like it's never too late. You know what I'm saying? And it's all or nothing, man. You know what I mean? It's all or nothing, bro. And so I can't really sit here with a good conscience and be like, yeah, I did it. And you know what? The hip hop become a hater and shit. Become one of those motherfuckers like, oh, that hip hop business, man. It ain't nothing but a bunch of thugs and thieves, people trying to kill you. And you know what? Steal your music, and it's a tough business. That music game's a tough business. No shit. Tell me something I don't know. But what you guys don't see, what the people don't see, is that MC with the pen and the pad and a table and a microphone, who just does the work. All the propaganda, all the controversy, all that BS, at the end of the day, it doesn't mean anything without that person writing those bars, sitting down and putting the time and the work in. That's what it takes to make it in this business. And if you don't do that, you're never gonna make it. No one's gonna just give it to you and put it in your hands and say, here you go, bro. Here's the whole world. No, the whole world's already out there. You gotta go get what's out there. That's what it takes. And that's why I'm back. That's why I'm back working a fast food job. You think I want to work a fast food job? Everyone clowns you. Every time you walk into a fast food place, you see the people that look on their face, they all look miserable. But you gotta do what you gotta do. And so I don't wanna be like the woulda, coulda, shoulda, wish I did person. I was gonna do a group album with my son. I was done with rap, and that was the only reason I was gonna come back, was do a group album with my son. And I had trouble telling like one of the homies and stuff. Now I'm trying to get back. I keep buying stuff, and I'm trying to get back. You know what I mean? But it's gonna take some work, man. And this is a full-time. Hip hop is a full-time job. You know what I'm saying? And you're always on the call. It's like being a doctor. You're always on the call, but you're not making any money. You know what I'm saying? The Joker drove how many miles, he said? And how much a tank to meet with Tech 9, who wasn't even on a major like that, but had built an empire and had gained a certain success on YouTube after all the years of grinding, had strange music, and basically like really solidified his standing. Trap music, I feel like it's partially because of Tech. You know what I mean? I really do. And you had the Joker drive all this way just so he can meet him and give him his CD, just to get kicked off the bus because they were watching a basketball game. Do you have that kind of dedication? You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of question you have to ask yourself. And if you do, what happens when you get kicked off the bus? What happens when you go to every single record label and everyone says no? Sorry, buddy. What happens when you do have the fans? What happens when you do have the YouTube, but they still say no? It's about overcoming adversity. It's about striving to be the best you can be, making it however you can make it. Beyond the gear. Because at the end of the day, the gear is here, but you're the one pushing the buttons. The gear is just going to sit there and collect dust until you pick it up, plug it in, and push the buttons. The microphone is going to collect dust. Trust me, I got a dusty microphone that I got to wipe with alcohol. Time is just going to keep going. watching everybody else live their life. Reality TV shows on fucking steroids, man. That shit has penetrated your fucking pineal gland. It's in your very soul, this reality TV shit. We know everything about Trump. We know everything about the White House. We know everything about the Kardashians. We know all this shit. But we don't know shit about ourselves. We stay in our lane and we don't try to make it. God gave us the gift. He gave everybody the gift. I don't subscribe to the whole notion of, well, talent's something you're born with and all this negative shit that people come up with. People who are successful who say this shit because they didn't chase their dream. They made it in another lane. But they still harbor some resentment because they didn't become the actor or exactly what they wanted to do. Or they made it, but they tell other people that they're not going to make it to their level. Don't listen to that. Don't listen to that shit, man. Do not listen to that shit. Hunker down, grab your supplies, and metaphorically get ready for war. And the pen, the iPad, the beat machine, the multi-track recorder, the mixing, the mastering, and the listeners, and the right people of networking that really want to help you is what you need to win the war. Yeah, man. We're not gonna just make a bunch of beats. We did that before. We made a shitload of beats, shitload of loops, and just didn't. Nah, we're not doing that this time. We're actually gonna mix everything, master everything. We're gonna do it all, man. We're gonna write the bars, and if the bars are not good enough and people say they suck, we're not gonna just give up. We're gonna dig deeper and dig deeper and dig deeper until we fucking dig a hole through the whole fucking planet. Until this shit is no more. Until we're gone. You know what I'm saying? There's no more time to waste. So that's the goal. That's what we're doing. And it feels good to have something positive that we worked hard for, that we earned. We earned this shit, dude. I fucking earned this shit. I worked hard for this shit. All the stuff I'm dealing with my girlfriend, all the stuff that she has to sacrifice, the time, you feel me? Our schedules being off, me playing video games, her watching TV, and, you know, at the end of the day, it's like, I don't want to just be another story. There has to be some kind of reward for all this stuff that we're doing. You know what I'm saying? I'm wasting time. Ain't nobody gonna be here forever. I'm not gonna be forever. She's not gonna be forever. So I might as well take that time that I'm wasting and put it into something that's actually gonna give me something back. That's the plan, man. That's the plan. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna get it. We're gonna do it. We're gonna make it happen. It doesn't stop. It continues. We don't lose focus. We may fall off the horse, but we get back on. So that's what we're doing. You know, I know this gear isn't going to make the beats for me. I know this gear isn't going to be the reason things get better. It just makes me feel better knowing I have a different workstation to approach and a different tool in my bag to utilize. You know what I'm saying? That's the key to this right here. And so my goal is to write a lot of songs. I read an article and it just doesn't leave my mind. It just keeps on repeating. It keeps on coming back to me. I cannot stop thinking about how Tupac wrote all the songs, and then I read an article that Drake and Future, or was it Drake and the Migos? I believe it was Drake and Future. Might have been the Migos too. Definitely Drake. It might have been the Migos. I'm not sure. Forgive me, but I'll try to find the article. They wrote 60 songs. They wrote 60 one songs in like 2 months or something like that. You know, it was like rap, some rap newspaper. You know, Drake and the Migos write 61 songs in 60 days or something like that. I read that and was like, it just, the first thing that like enveloped me like straight to my heart, like went straight to my core being. The first thing that popped up was like, wow, I gotta do that. You know what I mean? Like, it inspired me, not on no hater stuff. It just was like, damn, you wrote 60 songs? Like, okay. You know, let me, you know, you're successful and that's what you're doing. Let me emulate that. Let me copy that. Let me, you know what I'm saying? And when I mean copy, I just mean the work ethic. You know, let me get inspired off of your work ethic, because clearly you're doing something right and you're working hard. If you're doing that, then, you know, why, you know, I'm not, I haven't wrote anything in years, and you're writing 60 songs in 2 months. I need to do what you're doing. I need to be like you and work as hard as you're working, so I can get to a certain level in this business. I don't want to be at Drake's level. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I'll ever get to that point, and I honestly don't want to be at that level. I want to be successful on my level, doing things my way. But that's not gonna come just by being like, yeah, I'm Draco, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm MC Draco, dog. What's up? You know what I mean? What's good? And I'm just chilling in the cut. And they're like, oh, rap something. Oh, man, I've done that. I've been done that. But by the way, I rap. But yeah, I'm not gonna. You know what I mean? Like, what kind of shit is that? That don't make any sense. So it's like, you want to be like, and you don't even have to rap on the spot. You could have some fucking boombox or whatever. When some motherfucker says rap, and you just hit the play button, bam, here you go. Listen to this. You know what I'm saying? You know, you want to hear? I'll play you a demo. You get one song. You know what I mean? After that, it's $15. You know what I'm saying? Like, really though. You know, really. You know, and I think people will appreciate that. You know what I mean? I really think they would, because if you know, look, let's face it, like, artists are not making the money that they should be making. You know what I'm saying? And this streaming shit is not helping the artists. You know what I mean? So, you know, you shouldn't, you know, customers shouldn't feel like they're getting ripped off if they're paying $15 for a CD. They should feel like they're getting ripped off if they're constantly marketed a CD by mainstream, and they paid the money and they hear it and they only like 4 songs. That's when they should feel like they're getting ripped off. You know what I mean? But if you see a guy on the street and you're giving, I was that dude on the street selling CDs on the corner, and people would say shit like, "Oh, I'll just burn it. Oh, I'll just wait till you get famous and burn." You know, just disrespectful shit that's unnecessary to say. You know what I mean? Which is just like, well, what? Like, you know, like, just keep that shit to yourself, bro. Like, why are you even speaking out like that? Like, why are you even letting people know how you're purposely trying to piss somebody off? You know what I mean? Like, you're purposely being an asshole. You know, I'm out here on the grind doing my thing, and you're over here hating on it because you hate yourself. So you want to come and say some little sly shit that doesn't even matter. The fuck that's got to do with anything, dumbass? How you gonna burn it now? You gonna ruin your machine that you paid $400 so you can get a free $15? So you like my music that much, but you don't want to buy it? You want to listen to it, but you don't want to buy it? If you want to listen to it, then buy it. Now you got streaming and shit where you don't really see Napster and all this shit no more. You know what I mean? Now it's all not SoundCloud, excuse me, Spotify. Now it's all that. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of the shit that people thought, they didn't know what they were talking about. They didn't know what the fuck they were talking about. They never could have predicted where we are now in the music world. You know what I'm saying? And it's your job as a musician. It's my job. Anyone who's in this business is to understand the business, where it's going and where it's going to eventually wind up, and to match that, to meet it, to cut it off, head it off at the past. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I mean, this could be just me, but I still feel like physical items, People still want something physical in their hands besides a streaming service. You know what I'm saying? Some people just, the streaming service has kind of diluted the music because, you got people, they just turn on a playlist and that's it. You know what I mean? It could be good because it's exposure, right? So your music's got to be good, right? For someone to like stand out and be like, oh, what was that? That sounded great. Who is that? Right? But people need to wake up, from the zombification that they're stuck in. You know what I'm saying? From just following everything. You know what I mean? And rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that marathon or the pay what you like. I feel like that's a great idea. Same thing with Radiohead. You know what I mean? Or it was a limited edition or something like that, $100 or whatever for a signed copy, 1,000 only. I mean, all that stuff is a good idea, man. You know what I mean? All that stuff is a good idea. The Rainbow, what's their names? Radiohead, excuse me. I don't know what I called them. I'm sorry, I'm tired. But Radiohead, that's a good idea because you're showing the fans that you care by listing it. But let's be real, man. Let's be real. By you putting it at a dollar, you ain't gonna make any money, man. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna make any money. You're not. You know what I mean? And that you need that to survive. And so, $15 from a person is not gonna break their bank. The fact that people are complaining about something like that. If that's what you're going through, then okay, fine. You shouldn't be buying music right now. And trust me, I've been there. You know what I mean? But to make me feel bad because I'm trying to survive and food isn't free, so you can get a free CD when you know damn well you have you might have the funds. You know what I'm saying? Or you don't have the funds, you don't have the funds. Fine, you don't have the funds, you don't have the funds. That's totally fine. But don't make me feel bad because I'm trying to pull myself up out of this just like you are. You know what I mean? You're over here telling me about rappers and the CDs, and now look at the game. It's all fucked up. Are you doing any better? You got what you wanted. CDs are $10. CDs, inflation is going like this, but CDs are going like the albums for people's music is going down. Albums should be $30 right now. It should cost you $30 to buy an album. Based on the fact that rent prices keep going up, housing prices keep going up, car prices keep going up, but music albums keep going. The price for those keep going down. The game's fucked up, and you can't operate on that trend. You won't survive on that trend. So you got to make sure you let people know, like, hey, it's no disrespect. It's nothing against you. I don't think I'm better than you. My heart goes out to your situation, trust me. But this CD is $15. This CD is $20. That's what the price is. And listen to this track. I mixed it myself. I mastered it myself. I you know what I mean? I worked hard at this. It took me 2 years. Tell people, it took me 16 hours a day for 2 years to make this. Let them know. They get an hour thinking, they don't understand. So let them know, hey, this took me a lifetime. You know what I mean? So, just never forget that. Never forget how important it is to make sure that you get to where you need to be. And you can't let other people's plight and naysaying interrupt what you're trying to do. You can only be there for so many people, and you can't allow people to come and just ruin everything. So you drop your price, and then it's like, well, you know what? Why don't you give me your house? Well, it just snowballs into a whole thing where it's like, okay, now it's the price of my CD. Now my CD is $1. What's up? You gonna buy it? I already heard it. The homie bought it for $1. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, it makes no sense to even do that. You know what I'm saying? It makes no sense to even do that. So streaming services right now are really on my shit list. You know what I mean? Because they've 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 depreciated the music. You know what I'm saying? I like how you hear new artists though. I like how there's a lot of new artists out there that sound really good, and I like the variety that you get now. That is something I like. But when it comes to artists getting paid, I feel like the artist is doing all this work and he's really not recouping and really not seeing the results that he or she needs to see. And I think that's because the consumer and the supplier got greedy. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. And I don't think it's wrong to point that out. You know what I mean? I don't think it's wrong. If you're poor, you're poor. I'm not talking about you. If you can't afford it, you can't afford it. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the ones that want musicians to keep going down. You know what I mean? And they're too busy thinking about themselves. And for some reason, buying a CD is a problem. They gotta have it on their device for $1 a song, 50 cents a song, so they get what they. But what about, again? What about the artists? You think let me, if the record label, I'll leave you guys with this because I'm talking too much. If the record labels were already ripping off the artists when CDs were $20 back in the warehouse days, when they would hit $20 numbers, you know what I'm saying? All Eyes on Me was a double album. It was $27, but there were certain albums that were like $19, $22, and there wasn't no All Eyes on Me, and it wasn't a double CD. You know what I'm saying? When that happened, and it reversed, like how at $10 they were making all that money on CDs, had all the CDs selling and everything like that. Now with the streaming services and the price going down, you think they're gonna pay the artist more money? The artist. That's the thing. I really wanna leave with you. I don't want to sound bitter. The artist is the one suffering. These labels are gonna make money regardless. You're gonna get your cut. You're gonna get your little $8, 20-track CD for $8 because for some reason that's what you wanted. The label's gonna get their $8. The artist is gonna get jack shit. Zero. Nada. Zilch. That's what the artist is gonna get. And I don't think it's fair. And I think we should talk about that. I think that should be a part of the conversation. You know what I'm saying? Is why is music prices keep fucking going down, even though the consumer and the manufacturer supplier are both getting what they want, lower costs and more sales, but the artist, he's asked out. Why is that? So you as a consumer, you have to make up your mind. Do you want music anymore? Because it's gonna get to the point where, believe it or not, people are either gonna do it on the corner, on the street, and only do it like that, or they're not gonna do it at all, because it's just not gonna be worth it. Don't nobody want to get into music to make less than what a person makes selling fast food, working at a fast food place. Nobody wants to do that. You get into music because you want to actually buy a house and take care of your family. That's why you get into music. You want it to be a career, not a job, not a hobby, not a talent that you display for free for years and years and years. No, you want it to be a career that generates revenue, that takes you places on tour, meeting new producers, meeting new marketing people, meeting new, creating joint ventures and different things like that. You want it to go places. You know what I mean? You want to bring up other artists and get them paid like how you got paid, and want to make sure they don't get ripped off. That's what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? And so we really need to focus on making sure these labels don't rip everybody off, and making sure that the client understands that they're getting a good product and that the artist needs to be compensated because they're supplying a good product. They're not supplying some watered down manufactured industry plant bullshit. You know what I'm saying? They're actually have a story to tell with the years of experience behind them of actually practicing their craft. That person deserves to be paid double. Deserves to be paid double, if not triple, based on the emotional solace that you get from receiving that information and connecting with that person, understanding that you're not alone and that person is dealing with some of the similar things that you're dealing with. That's the connection. That's the part of music that helps, is the feeling better, is the soothing of the savage beast. You know, that's been exploited. You know what I'm saying? And we need to get back to that. So support your artists, man. Support your artists, because trust me, they need the support. They're not getting paid. And don't believe this YouTube shit. Don't believe none of this shit, man. They're not making any fucking money. If they were making money, you wouldn't see them on YouTube anymore. You know what I'm saying? If they were making money, you wouldn't see them on YouTube. They wouldn't have to be on YouTube, so they wouldn't do it. If a person's on YouTube, it's because they have to be. You know what I'm saying? His nut got bigger, that's all. The amount of money he has to pay for his house and his parents' house and his, in-laws' house has increased. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're dealing with. So, anyway, we got into a whole bunch of shit, but bottom line is I'm happy with this thing, and I hope to see this through, and I hope to produce a lot of records, and I hope to bring you guys more content using the Verselab and using a bunch of stuff, but definitely using the Verselab, because based on the how's the saying go? The rumors of my demise were greatly exaggerated. The rumors of this thing being whack were greatly exaggerated. This thing is fucking incredible. It's incredible. I'm MC Draco. I'm out.